Hello, what about you? I'm Andy, and I like to build stuff from any junk I can find, really. If that's on your fancy, stick around. So, the CMC
Community Mech Challenge.
has been running for just over a week now, and the Instagram page is really starting to fill up. So, everyone that's participated so far, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you're not participating, why not? I haven't really set a deadline yet, so you've still got plenty of time. And if you want to post your pics on Instagram, don't forget to use the hashtag Community Mech Challenge. Keep an eye out for the live streams at the weekend, where I usually go onto Instagram and get a wee look through the Instagram page just to see all the builds so far. So yeah, why not get involved? Like I said, I'll give plenty of notice when I come up with some sort of end date, but it'll be at least a month from today, I would think. So for my first CMC build, I thought I'd try and use a material that's pretty easy to get a hold of, and one that I haven't really used before. So let's get into it. Cardboard is going to be the main material for this build. I've got all sorts of thicknesses here, so set that to one side for now. And then I've did a few sketches here, just simple shapes really, just trying to keep it fairly simple. So in the end I sort of settled on this guy. Pretty simple shape, but it's still familiar at the same time. And just a few ideas there for the legs as well. So I'm going to start by cutting some templates from this thinner stock cardboard here. But I'll start with some line paper first, and this just helps them sort of keep the edges square. And just transfer that to my thinner stock cardboard. And that's my first template cut. That's going to be the general shape I'll work off. And then I've already got these leg templates cut here from the live stream. I was building a cardboard mech over the weekend there on the live stream, so I've got these left over from that. So I'll just go ahead and use those. I can sort of set up a few different leg arrangements kind of thing, from long to slightly shorter. So I'll maybe go for the longer version. This is what I came up with on the live stream, just a slightly more complicated shape, and sort of a bottom section of legs there. The legs for this guy's actually in 3 sections. So I think for this build I'll just keep it a wee bit simpler and just stick with the 2 leg sections. Yeah, I know, but so far, like I said, it's been great working with the cardboard. Once you sort of figure out how it's going to go together, and which is fairly simple, you are just sort of stacking three layers together and leaving a space in between kind of thing. But yeah, that's not for this video, that was just for an example. But yeah, this has came up as well. You could just sort of build this chassis and then just go ahead and stick a container on top of it. It would work just as well. So I might end up building something with that later on down the line. Anyway, back to this guy. So I've got some sides cut here, and I've just doubled up on the cardboard just to give it a wee bit of strength. And it'll also help me glue these first bits together and sort of keep them square. So I'll get these 2 side pieces stuck together and the back on. And like I said, just trying to make sure keep it all sort of relatively square. And I've just been using some tacky glue and some super glue. This was a wee tip that I picked up from Tinu, which is pretty handy. I could just use one or the other, but the tacky glue kind of fills the gaps, and then the super glue gives me that instant bond. So thank you, Tinu. So we'll just get this body put together. Fairly simple shape, just a box with an angle cut off it just to make it look a bit more futuristic. So that's the basic body shape done. Now I just need to draw out a load of leg pieces and get those cut out. I'll just use the magic of video editing to try and speed this up a wee bit. Oh, and I also want to cover the edges here with some paper, just to cover up those sort of corrugated cardboard edges. I'll just use some of these paper strips and my tacky glue just to cover those edges up. So I've got most of my leg sections cut out here, so I can start getting those together. And then I've got most of the paper strips done on the edges here, just need to get a wee bit finished. But yeah, like I said, it's just regular A4. I've just cut it into strips, and it's going to cover up these edges nicely. And that's the edges covered. And I've got a bit cut out here just to sort of receive the legs, just sort of like a section to carry the legs on. You know, it'll separate them from the body a wee bit. I'll probably have to thicken it up a wee bit because I think they want the legs to be sitting out sort of square with the body. So I'll need to work a wee bit more on that. But and then yeah, for the legs themselves, I'll just cut out a wee section before I glue them together. I'll just sort of cut out this section, and then that allows them to slot together, sort of like I was showing you earlier. Just leave that gap in the middle, and then they just slot together nicely, and still gives you plenty of range of movement, sort of thing, for posing it. So I've got all the paper strips on, and then I cut a few more panels, and then stuck those on. I've got plenty of cardboard, like, and it's not as if it cost me a whole lot, so I might as well just go mad with these panels. So I'll cover now the edges of the paper up with some more cardboard. Because this cardboard isn't corrugated, I don't need to worry about covering up the edges of it. It'll give me a nice sort of crisp panel line that I'm looking for. And then I might cut some more panels, and because like I said, still got plenty of cardboard here. Maybe just a few more panels around it for a bit more detail. And then my section for carrying the legs, I've got it beefed up, ready to stick on. So yeah, it's gonna, just like I said, bring the legs out so they're flush with the body, just to give them a bit of a wider stance as well. You don't want the legs too close together. So I'll just get that stuck on, same method, wee bit of tacky glue and then a wee bit of super glue, and get that stuck on. I've already got sort of a center line marked out there to keep it central. And then I can maybe get this top section of legs stuck on. I want that in a sort of specific position just to keep that gap between the leg and the body there. So I could probably go ahead and get it stuck on. And then I made some feet. Here's some I prepared earlier. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just some simple shapes cut out with a bit stuck on the side, like a tab stuck on the side there, just to stick onto the leg. So yeah, I've got the top section of legs stuck on. It isn't stuck at the knee just yet. I've kept it loose. And I've made myself a wee Lego platform here, and that just makes the assembly a wee bit easier, you know. But before we go any further, I'll give it a good coat here of some Mod Podge and some paint, and that'll just sort of give the cardboard some strength, and it actually gives it a nice texture as well. So well, as long as you dab it on, so I'll give it a good dabbing all over, and yeah, really nice sort of orange peely, sort of maybe leathery, closer to leather sort of texture. But you could mix in a wee bit of baking powder if you really wanted to go for that heavy sort of texture, like. But yeah, and it's great at filling the gaps as well. The gaps in the corrugated cardboard, just kind of push it in between the gaps, fills it up nicely. So yeah, great job. PVA or Mod Podge and a wee bit of paint. And then my Lego scaffold here, it's just gonna hold them at the height that I want it, and that means I can just go ahead. Oh, it's a wee bit wobblier than I want it to be, so I'll beef it up a wee bit. And just make sure it's not going to fall over. And that means I can work away, just positioning the legs wherever I want to, and just raise it up a wee bit more here first, I think. And yeah, after a wee bit of fiddling, just getting the legs into sort of the position that I want them to be in. I'm just being fussy about these gaps, you know, the sort of the panel lines in the leg between the legs and the body there, just to keep a nice sort of angle on it all, so it's all sort of matching up. But apart from that, I just want to try and keep the feet underneath the centre of gravity, just to give him a better chance of standing on his own. You know, at this point, I really don't know if he's going to stand up on his own at all. Just you just kind of hope that he will. But the scaffold or the Lego stand there certainly helps. So I'll leave that to dry, and then hopefully when I pull that stand out, he'll be standing on his own. Which happy days he is. So I'll put a wee bit extra cardboard there just for some more support there down at his ankle, and I'll just need to give it a wee coat there with the Mod Podge and paint as well. So at this point I still think he's a wee bit plain, so I'm gonna add some more panels. Why not? Plenty of cardboard here. So I just cut out some smaller shapes from the templates, and I'm gonna just sort of cut those up, and and stick them on the sides here just to give me some more panel lines, you know. And then I'll take a pin on some of them and just put some rivets in. It kind of works the same way as it does with a plastic card. I hope you can see that, something like that. But yeah, so more panels for now, and then I can I'll get those done, and then I can get the door on, which I made from EVA foam. I've just got some offcuts of EVA foam, so I've used that up, and it makes for sort of a good door there. And then same for the front as well. I've made like a window for the front with the EVA foam. I'm not quite sure what shape I want to go for yet. Probably a similar shape to the leg panels, I would think. But yeah, I'll see what happens. So that's the rest of the panels on, and you can see some of them there have rivets and some of them don't. And I've got my door on, and then some more panels on the legs there. That was just more offcuts, just trying to use up those slithers of cardboard, you know. And that's my window for the front. I tried to sort of mirror the same shapes as the legs. Yeah, I know. Still a wee bit of detailing to do on it with my wood burning pen. So yeah, well, time for one more coat of Mod Podge and paint, just to cover all these panels and just to make the sort of texture all the same. But before I do that, do a wee bit of detailing just with my wood burning pen, just on the front windscreen there, and just a few more panels that I had from wee offcuts sitting around. So I added a couple of wee extra details there on top, and give them another quick coat of Mod Podge and paint, and that's him pretty much good to go. I could leave him like this if I really wanted to, but I'll probably end up painting him in one of the live streams at the weekend. So yeah, looking good, really happy for my first sort of cardboard build. Well, I can call this my second one now, but yeah, really happy with it, really happy. So, there you have it. That's my first CMC build.
Community Mech Challenge.
Done, ready for paint. Turns out cardboard's a pretty good building material. If you're thinking about giving this a go yourself and joining the CMC, I hope this was helpful. And if you want to go and check out all the other builds on Instagram, it's hashtag Community Mech Challenge. And don't forget to follow it because there's new builds added every day. Any questions or comments? There's nowhere to go there, down below, work away, and remember, there are no stupid questions here. And a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I really couldn't do this without you. Thanks very much, I really do appreciate it. And thanks to my new supporters, Pontus and Easy8Boy, thank you for joining. And if you want to join them and get your name on the wall and help me make future videos, all the details are in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!